Each graduation ceremony provides an opportunity for reflecting on issues affecting our nation, and as Chancellor, I wish to urge us to reflect on some critical issues. I am confident, and I'm not alone in believing that we are living through the most dangerous period in human history. Africa is caught at the pit of an existential crisis from climate change, for which it bears no responsibility, but must now pay its heaviest price. In the heart of Europe and in the ruins of Gaza, mankind is slowly but seriously drifting into wars, the consequences of which could be incalculable. And all of this stems from the failure, the refusal of men and women to let go of past grievances. Across the African continent, political divisions have deepened conflicts and undermined the scope for cooperation. The refreshing harmony of the ECOWAS sub-region is now endangered by conflicts, and now, in our country, our pride and joy as a fountain of democracy is imperiled by developments that can only stick in our throats. After our lofty experiences of the past 3 decades, how sad it is how sad is it to see the impasse in our legislature, the continuing antipathy towards the institutions of state that should guarantee our peace and stability, and particularly in the challenge to the rule of law. We may have been through some of these experiences before and overcome them, but the vehemence of the current impasse carries forebodings we cannot simply afford. Our political leaders are in danger of ignoring the lessons of our history and the penalties of miscalculation in a febrile political environment, except possibly within the unwelcome ambit of a one-party state. There is no system of governance which can be sustained without a process by which differences are reconciled and litigation is brought to an end. It is not just a necessary requirement of our constitutional democracy, it is one of the strengths of African traditional governance. When we send men and women to Parliament, we expect them to engage in rigorous debate, but we also expect them to be able to reconcile conflicting opinions, have the good sense to recognize the point at which litigation becomes self-serving and valueless, and decisions become obligatory. Our legislators cannot thrash the lessons of our history and expect to retain their honor among the people. This is the worst possible time to put our nation through this drama. In the first place, our democracy has not developed the resilience which can sustain a prolonged political crisis. Secondly, like many countries in the post-COVID world, our economy is not in the best shape. Whoever wins this election is going to have a battle on his hands to rejuvenate the economy. Thirdly, the world is in a turmoil, and even the most powerful nations are consumed by domestic priorities with little spare capacity for others. The old shoulders you cry on may be overloaded with his own domestic bag to be able to care for others, and especially in this America First era. So we must be clear in our minds. Countries like Ghana do not have and cannot afford the luxury of any prolonged fruitless litigation in the years. The tide of history is against that. Every individual engaged in the current electoral process must be aware, and every voter in Ghana must know that whoever wins must be able to hit the ground running or risk the danger of a revolution of shattered dreams. On the evidence of our Fourth Republic, it should be clear to all our political protagonists that no party is in a position to win such an absolute majority. It cannot administer the affairs of the nation without the cooperation of the other party. The successful administration of the country under the political party would require a large dose of bipartisan cooperation. Tragically, the current impasse has so ruptured the bipartisan spirit that it threatens to spill over into the future, thrashing the prospect for bipartisan cooperation in the next parliament. This is the certain route to reign, and it has to be unacceptable to every Ghanaian who cares about our common destiny. Let us join together the beating of hearts of our people from the village to city across Ghana and invoke the cardinal spirit of reconciliation to urge our political leaders to step back from the path to ruin and return to the path of bipartisan cooperation to restore our hopes for future progress and prosperity. Let us drink from the faith of our forefathers and, fortified by the blood and tears of heroes and martyrs, resolve to shine through the gloom and head for the skies to take our just place at the banquet of human progress.